Hey everybody, this is of course the House of Chayton here. Just got out of seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I will say after basically the MCU being the newest sort of phase being the last phase being a letdown, I will say this was a drastic improvement, and it was a swan song for a fine way to go out for James Gunn and his swan song with MCU as he goes into the world of DC. So I did do a video reaction of what I thought of the movie on my TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to check it out, those are places. I will post it on here. Maybe not today, but I'll post it tomorrow. So I know I'm late to the party with the reactions or even the reviews and all that, but again, that's par for the course here. Tonight, I will be recording episode, I think it's 3, of the Tales from the News that will be coming out tomorrow night, as well as I recorded episode 4 of The Exiled Outcasts that will be premiering Friday. It's already been queued up, ready to go, and set for premiere, so hello, Dylan. How you doing, man? So I'm doing this little. I mentioned I may do it. Again, it wasn't 100% for sure, but I was like, why not? Just had to go get me some cigarettes. I get paid tomorrow, so that's good. But again, I go into work early on all that. Just say. One second. Okay, I was just sending a message real quick. Who's coming in? Here is my boy Anthony. How are you doing, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just getting out of seeing Guardians.
How is it?
I very much enjoyed it. I did a little reaction video. Say, as I watch, you should come in. We don't mind that you eat while you're in here. There was one time where one chick gave me head while I was on a certain stream. I may tell that story tomorrow or for tomorrow's video too. Well, the mic was muted, but some of you may know that story.
Why? My friend Chayton. My friend Chayton. No. I'm good, Chayton. Oh.
Hello, Dragon. Hello, Cherry.
I got 790.
Oh, fuck. Only 10 more and you get to 800. See who's coming in now.
What? Yeah.
Hello, Tricky.
Yo.
I'm great. Hey, Blue, how you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm good. Dragon.
Hello, Dylan.
Hello.
Hey, guys, remember I let that rule know. I'll give you, since maybe you haven't seen it, I don't want any nicknames or all that. Since you probably didn't know about ZTV, I'll let that pass, but next time I will have to enforce it. No innuendos, no jokes, all that. No, Anthony, it's not you, it's ZTV. And all that.
I'm good. Today I stayed home.
Oh, you're good, ZTB. Unlike some people, I know you're busy, so you're good. I know you don't watch everything. You're not able to watch everything due to work and all that. So I will. So you're good.
I went
Just don't do it again.
This weekend.
You did what, Anthony?
I went to Red Lobster.
Oh shit! I haven't been there in years. How was it?
It was great. I took my mom to early Mother's Day.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to be once I get paid, I'm going to be doing the same thing. Oh, that's all right, Cherry. I'm glad you at least stopped by to show some support.
No problem.
But something else. One thing I will say is, see this. I held one little thing I'll say. I held somebody accountable.
Oh, nice. That's nice for you, buddy.
But that is true, unfortunately. Yes.
I got some comic books this weekend.
Oh, that's good, man. What was it? Oh, for free comic book day or all that?
Yep, I got them all.
Oh, that's good, man.
I had a great
Yeah, I
week.
was working, so I couldn't go to all that. Go ahead, Anthony.
It was good. It was good. It was good. I have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to watch it on my app this Thursday.
Oh, that's good, man. I'll probably check out again. I saw it in IMAX, which was great. Didn't see it in 3D. I probably try to see it in 3D. But has anybody else in here seen Guardians yet? Go ahead.
I don't think I did, but to be quite honest, I haven't seen any movies since like January, or probably since January. So,
Well, I mean, if I could be like perfectly honest, I am losing interest in the MCU. Actually, I've been losing interest. Aside from all that, I still look up to people like Chris Pratt.
Well, I will say this as someone who's been very critical of the MCU for the last couple of years, ever since what do you call it? Because I've said the best MCU product after Endgame was what was it? WandaVision.
I'm watching that right now, Chayton.
Oh, that's good. I saw like, oh yeah, we won't. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Even my short or my TikTok video that I'll be posting on here, that will not be spoiler centric. But WandaVision, and then I did like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That was a good one. But something else I saw regarding that, tried to. Shang-Chi was another good one. I didn't hate the Eternals like everybody else did, but I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, I've said, is the most disappointing MCU movie of the current phase, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania I hated. So I may give it another watch after.
Ant-Man was all right, you know.
Yeah, and plus, who the fuck knows what's going to happen now with all the shit that's going on with Jonathan Majors? We don't know what. Like, if you've noticed in all the physical media releases for the two main movies he's been starring in, Creed 3, which I still need to check out, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, he's nowhere in the. I remember he was heavily promoted, and now, of course, it's all that. I did see the second. I will say the two movies that get me pumped. And one is surprising. The first one is The Flash. I still think Ezra Miller needs to get kicked out of after this movie. I think he's a cancer, and I don't mean that in the like a sign check, or the sign stuff, But besides that, I enjoy that. What are you talking about, Dragon? My availabilities?
Yo, just wondering, like, what the fuck was David Zaslav
And I'm looking
of, like, keeping Ezra Miller?
David Zaslav.
Well, like, the thing is that that would have, unfortunately, because they've already made the film, like regarding Guardians and shit, they've already, or not Guardians, sorry, The Flash. They already made it, and it would have been really impossible. It's not like what happened with Kevin Spacey many years ago when they switched up the, they had, I think, Christopher Plummer take over because Kevin Spacey was in a very small role. Like, Ezra Miller has multiple roles in this movie. So regarding all that, I'm not, like, I get why they did it because it probably cost them a lot more money. And plus, if this is the only time I will get to see, like the last time I'll see Michael Keaton as Batman, Ben Affleck, that's the main reason why I'm excited for this movie. And also Michael Shannon as Zod. And to defend, because I'm actually a David Zaslav supporter. I know.
Me too. I'm a David Zaslav supporter too, Chayton.
Oh, where's my invite, ZTB? I never talked to him privately like Dragon. That's what. Oh God, I'm gonna have to make a truth about Dragon and ZTB and more. Anyway, what I was saying.
Let down David Zaslav, or what? You're a supporter?
I'm a supporter of his. I don't agree with everything he's done, but I think some of the decisions have been good.
Like to each his own. So.
Well, yeah, and I know that's probably a big, like that's a big topic, a talking point regarding all that. I will say this: I think David Zaslav's done a better job recently than fucking what the powers that be were doing beforehand, especially regarding Amber Heard.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's one of the only good things. Yeah.
There's Zaslav's doing a great job at Warner Discovery.
I don't know about that, but I need to look into that.
And plus, let's be real here. Like, I've always said this regarding these like mergers and all that. We won't see the full change of everything until like a year into the merger. Like once everything's done. Now, something I will say though is that one of the things I think David Zaslav did because this was under his rule, is to bring what do you call it? James Gunn as the head of like the DCU. You know, I think because let's not forget, if he never got fired from Marvel for that whole thing from Twitter a couple of years ago, which is actually going to not entirely, but it's going to be something we'll be talking about on the Exiled Outcast very soon. Not this episode, but you'll find out when that topic. It's not regarding James Gunn specifically, but it's regarding something that happened regarding James. That's my tease for what an upcoming episode is going to be. Now,
Interesting.
So but yeah, I think with David Zaslav bringing in James Gunn, do I agree that they got rid of I know this is going to be controversial regarding the DCEU. I think that even though I've said I loved Ben Affleck's Batman, I loved Henry Cavill's Superman. Unfortunately, and this is not, and I repeat, and I want to reiterate this about Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder got a bad hand regarding everything stuff that happened in his personal life, stuff that happened within Warner Brothers during that period, all that stuff. So I'm not going to criticize Zack Snyder and say it's his fault, but the handling of the DCEU from day one after Man of Steel was handled poorly.
Wow.
And what I like and what I think they're doing now, they're trying to go into a different and unique but good path with what they're doing now. And also, here's the other thing. The previous owners of Warner Brothers fucked over, they're the reason why Christopher Nolan is with Universal now. Oppenheimer would be released under Warner Brothers if it wasn't for the previous powers that be, because let's not forget regarding Tenet and a lot of movies that came to HBO Max. Yes, it was great for us that were not still to go to the movies at that point, but for movie theaters and for the people that were working on these movies, that was a slap in the face. Look at what happened with Scarlett Johansson with the whole situation with Marvel, which I was behind Scarlett on that.
Me too.
So, and also let's look at it this way: Evil Dead Rise was going to be released on HBO Max only. David Zaslav decided to make it a theatrical release, and look where it's at now.
It's a great movie, Evil Dead. I saw it last Monday.
Yes, and also it cost $100 million worldwide.
Wow.
So think of the money that movie would have lost if it got released on HBO Max. Hello, Tom. How are you doing, man? So now, are there things I don't agree with David Zaslav? Yes. I will say them possibly trying but
Some glitch.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. It was him. Okay, never mind. Oh, is there a lag on my end? Oh damn, never mind. I forgot to. I forgot to.
Yeah.
Okay, I switched it to 4G. Okay, and we lost Anthony. Oh well. Well, thank you for coming in, Anthony. All right. Well, I was saying about David Zaslav about some of the issues there is. Hey, what's up? What's up, Jester? But something I was going to say regarding all this is that with David Zaslav, there are problems. Like, do I agree with them? Do I agree with them merging? What do you call it? I'm gonna put the link back down because I
Discovery.
like lot of comments. Yeah, I'm not talking about I'm talking about HBO Max. I hate that like shows like Mama June or 90 Day Fiance are going to be in the same category as Batman, and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And the name is stupid. I get playing devil's advocate for a second. I get why they're doing it. It's cost cutting. They're merging the two into one. So I get that from a business aspect. But in my fear, and it's going to be coming out later on. It's coming out. Oh, hey, what's up, Omega? It's coming out later this month, so we will find out how this new service is, and I'm curious about it. Like I've been an HBO Max supporter since the beginning of the year, beginning of its inception. I have been pro HBO Max. HBO Max is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, streaming service. It makes some of the best shows on television.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're good, Cherry. I appreciate you staying as long as you did. You're good, and I appreciate it. So you have a good night. You get some rest, all right? But like The Last of Us, I've really enjoyed so far the show Love and Death with Elizabeth Olsen.
I need to check those out.
Yeah, like Tricky and me, we're in agreement. Like I believe two of the best networks that produce some of the greatest television shows of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
HBO, and FX.
That is true.
Showtime would be a third, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because and also I need to catch up on it, but I'm going to pour some fictional alcohol to the Mayans because they'll be ending its show after this next season coming soon.
Well, I mean,
AMC, yes, that's another good one. AMC made, of course, what was it? Mad Men, Breaking Bad, of course, Better Call Saul, and then let's not forget one of and The Walking Dead.
It's actually interesting because sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
you're good.
It's actually interesting because lately I've been so obsessed with Showtime, mainly because of Shameless and Dexter.
Oh yes, and also I've got the bundle with Paramount Plus where I get Showtime. It was only a couple bucks more, and I was like, fuck it. I've got almost all the streaming, so at least the prominent ones. I think the only one I don't have is I think Apple TV Plus. I think that's the only one I haven't done. I haven't.
No, I don't know.
Because there's hey Pixie, how are you doing? I always nice to see you in chat. Oh, I bet you do. See, when I watched my softcore, I used to go to HBO. Thank you. I used to do that. This is back in the day before when we had either that or videotapes, or DVDs, or Playboy Hustler, all that stuff. Nowadays, it's at the tip of your fingertip or at your fingertips. Wow, it's lightning. It's not even raining, but it's lightning. It's like red. It's like the scene from Stranger Things. I'm waiting to see the fucking that one creature. I still have not watched Stranger Things, mind you. I'm one of the only people in the world probably has not seen Stranger Things, and I've got the first season on Blu-ray. Back when Netflix was actually releasing some of their shows on Blu-ray. Nowadays they really don't, or if they do, it's DVD. I still want an actual official release of Midnight Mass. Still say one of the best TV shows of the last 10 years was Midnight Mass. That Haunting Hill House, all directed by Mike Flanagan.
Now that you mention it, believe it or not, Paramount Plus had released some of their original content on DVD.
Oh yeah, and then of course and it sucks because you the only way you can get certain Cartoon Network shows, if they have the complete series, is only on DVD. which again, at least it's somewhere. But again, but it's like as a Blu-ray collector, I would like to have if it's not coming to 4K, I would like to have the best quality that I can find. You know, but again, I'm not one of these elite snobs that will not buy DVD. If DVD is the only way I can preserve a movie or a TV show, then I will buy it on DVD. I'm not against doing that, but like I have a handful of movies on DVD. I don't have like as much as my Blu-ray or even my 4K collection, but it's still decent. But regarding all that, while we're here, I might as well upload this to show you all. For anybody who has not seen episode 1 of the Exiled Outcasts, and
Okay.
I will show it on here. I'll show a little clip. This is from my TikTok. I've been promoting it because episode 1 and 2 is on or are on my on Spotify now. So if you want to listen to the Exiled Outcast and you don't want to have to, if you're on YouTube Premium or you just don't want to watch the video, and here's a snippet of episode 1 that I made with some logos and all that.
Are you down to clown? And I looked at her and a fucking piece of chicken fried steak in my mouth. I'm pretty full. Like I'm like, I'd make a swallow and say, I don't think I've ever been down to do anything that has to do with a clown. I don't know if I will or ever want to do anything as far as down with the clown. And I didn't understand. I didn't click for me. You know, I didn't.
Yes, that's just I always tell. And I put the short up on the channel as well. So if you want to see the context of that, check out episode 1. Also, shout out to episode 3, which is just I think it's at 115 views. So it is now become the second most viewed episode of the Exiled Outcast so far. I think this week's episode, which is called "Where's the Internet Beef," I think that one's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a very thought-provoking conversation. More of these. Well, I'm going to be recording the sex stories tomorrow or tonight for Tales from the News. That'll be tomorrow. I still got to delete the original live stream that was planned because I'm just going to do pre-recorded. Especially since I got to get up early on Wednesday. I got to get up like at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They usually have me mornings on the weekdays and then nights on the weekends.
Bruh, sometimes
But,
like, I
go
hate
ahead.
mornings. Like I really do. Like getting up so early to like go to work and shit. Yeah, sometimes it's a pain in the ass, but like eventually you'll get used to it. You'll get over it.
Yeah, it's like, like I'm not like anybody who's known me for a long time, especially anybody who knows me personally, knows I ain't a morning person. I've always said this. There are only 3 things that usually will get me up early in the morning without really complaining. Money, food, and sex. Sometimes all in that order. And since you go to work and you make that paper, you make that, I'm probably butchering it, but as CTV would say that, whatever the fuck how you say it, then yeah, I'll get up for that. But besides that, those are like the 3 things. Like you promised me tacos. Like the other day when the last day Mason went tatas. Okay. Now when I got up to hang out with Mason for his last day, but the last day Mason was here in San Antonio, Lennon, because he was like, "Oh, good morning, good evening, good night. You should all come early in the morning." And I was like, "What time?" And at first he was like 9. I'm like, "Oh fuck, I ain't getting up that early." And he says 5, 10. I'm like, "Okay." So I'll bring tacos. I'm like, "Oh, okay, good. Now you're talking my language." I'd be like you've done one of the 3 things I'll do. Now you could also call sex free, if you will. Like if it's a woman, she wants you to go down on her or something, then you can consider that too, because you're eating some cake. But yeah, to depending on or if you're on the other side, they could be chowing down some sausage. Either way. But the point is, though, is that those are like the ways that will get me up in the morning, and I mean the cake, not the sausage CTV. I know he's probably waiting, typing right now, thinking, "Oh, I knew it, I knew it." He said he'd get up for it, sausage. I knew it. Catch that on tape. Dylan, how are you doing, man? I know you haven't really been talking too much on here, so give you the floor for a moment.
Yeah, I was hearing what you guys were saying about. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, speaking of Disney Plus, well, to be quite honest, I don't have Disney Plus at the moment right now. The only streaming service I actually been watching is Pluto TV and of course HBO Max.
Pluto TV is really good, especially for like if you're a horror lover. If you want to check, like they have some good horror movies and some like guilty pleasures, some underrated movies. Which reminds me, I need to watch the trailer for The Meg when I get home. I was gonna watch the trailer for Oppenheimer finally, but they showed the trailer at freaking during Guardians of the Galaxy, the brand new trailer. So I was like, oh, good, I didn't need to. I can remove that from my watching history. 1 second. Thank you. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna see what CTV says. Let's see. And for Chain, he's having a deluxe meal with sausages and cake. Oh my god. Of course, you sick bastard. All right. Or as I've trained Dragon to say, no, you sick fuck. But yeah, it's windy. If this starts raining, I'm gonna be like, well, I've got to end the stream abruptly. That's why I ended the stream abruptly. I was trying to get laid, which was successful. I think that was either the first or second open house I did. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the two. Maybe three. I can't remember. I know the last one I did was, of course, the one where we were doing. Oh my god. Well, he does have a point. But so I was gonna say regarding all that. Oh yes. Yeah, the last open house I did was actually, I believe, the one with Mason when we were doing Cards Against Humanity. That was a fun one. I'm 3-0 in board games, so I can have down my mantle. I need one more before I get to 4-0. If Dragon's still here, he'll get that joke. Oh shit! Go ahead, Chicky.
I was gonna say, Chin, have you seen that new show, Beef?
No, but I've heard about it. How is it? Have you seen it?
It's amazing.
What's it about again? Enlighten me.
Okay, so basically, like these strangers who would get into like a road rage incident would eventually become obsessed with each other.
They do what? They become obsessed with each other?
Yeah, because they got into a road rage and now they're obsessed with each other because of it.
Oh, that's it. That's interesting. I'll have to check out. Where's it on? If you don't.
Netflix.
Oh, okay, Netflix. I'll have to check it out. I haven't been on my Netflix in a little bit. Regarding all that. ZTV, we're not letting these things. I was gonna just do it quietly. Try not to what do you call it? Engage the people. That's what they want.
But yeah, I gotta say, Stephen Young and Ali Wong were phenomenal in that show.
Isn't he in what was he on?
The Walking Dead.
Oh yes, he was also in Mayhem, and then he was also in fucking what was that movie? That
Nope.
That Nope. Yes, Nope. I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I was gonna say to the chat. Since DTV's here, I'll reiterate it. Do not engage any troll accounts or anybody starts it. They will be removed here by myself. No, I know. I just want to. You're good. I just want to reiterate, I'm gonna try to remove them without any big hubbub and all that. I want to make sure, given all that. I knew you weren't angry and all that. I just wanted to point that out just for future sake. But besides all that, yeah, because I'm like regarding the chat, I'm just like I said, I even told the mods to quietly remove them from the thing without any engagement. I think there was one account that was on my exiled out, like my most recent exiled, and they weren't really going too far. And plus, in the comment section, it kind of at the end it kind of proved their reasoning why they came in a moot point. So that one was allowed. Plus, that person wasn't being too disrespectful. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'll have to see Beef, and then I got to watch the newest episode of fucking Fatal Attraction. I think it's episode 4, because they did what Love and Death did on HBO Max. They basically premiered the first 3 episodes the day it was released, and then they released the rest. They released the rest, or they're releasing them episode by episode after that. I kind of part of me doesn't like that because I'm kind of spoiled with Netflix when they either release the whole season all at once, or they release it episode by or part 1 and 2 like they did with You season 4. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they did that with Stranger Things too, where they did half of the most recent season, and then the other half they did after like a little bit, which I actually did well from my understanding, especially with You season 4. It sucks that the writer strike's going on right now, because that means probably, because I don't think You season 5 has been greenlit, and so we'll see what happens with there. But regarding all that, trying to wait to cross. Let's see. I don't know if that's. I'll address this one. I don't know if this is the real account, but I'm gonna block that one just because, again, I don't. My rule still stands on that individual for right now until I see improvement. Don't say who it is. Just again, that's just how I'm handling it. But what do you call it? But yeah, like I'm trying to think of the next show, because it was good that those 2 shows were coming out around the same time, Love and Death and fucking what do you call it? What was it? Love and Death and Fatal Attraction. And Love and Death is based on a true story about basically a woman who killed another one with an axe in, I believe it was Lyle, Texas, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. And all that. They did actually another show about it on Hulu recently, a couple of years ago. They would Jessica Biel, if I remember correctly, called Candy, which is the name of the woman who was like trialed and everything, but she was the charge was dropped due. I believe they used self-defense as and this is not me spoiling anything. This is a true story. So it's very interesting. Also, while we're on the subject, thoughts and prayers to the families that were affected by, I believe it was Allen, Texas. There was a shooting that happened. Actually, funny enough, I didn't find out about it until
on the news today. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and I didn't even find out about it until, ironically, Jay Houston sent me a link to it, which is funny because he knows I live in Texas. But I was like, he said, "Did you hear about shit?" I'm like, "No," and he was like, "Send me a link." I was like, "Whoa!" But I've always said this regarding shootings. And I know it's a controversial statement, but like mass shootings nowadays are just par for the course at this point. As fucked up as that sounds, like that's why I always say when they get so riled up about gun control, and then a couple of weeks or months pass, and they kind of go back to the regular thing. Shit, there was a woman that literally was at a shooting range not too far from San Antonio, and she went off with a fucking, I think a submachine gun. She walked out of the fucking store with it that she was supposed to take to the shooting range. She walked out with it, got in her car, and drove off. So it's like, it's just, you know, it's like I've said this. Gun control is not going to save it. Like, I'm pro-gun. I'm not going to say that, you know, anything like about that. And I don't think gun control is going to work because it's going to end up the same way as like the drug scene. They're just going to have fucking, you're just going to get it from gang members, cartels, what have you. Same way, or just random everyday people. You're going to get those things. So I honestly do not think that's going to work. And especially a lot of people that, you know, the right to bear arms, which I am a firm believer in regarding the whole, you know, thing. Like, if you're an intruder, step into my front door, I have every right to blow your brains out if I need to. Because I don't know what you're going to plan on doing. You could be going in there to kidnap, fucking rob, rape, pillage, whatever have you, you know, this, that, and the third. And so, yeah, I'll sec. I agree. I've said this, they don't care. They don't care until shit like this happens. But the problem always has been they find something to blame. Back in the 90s, they would blame Marilyn Manson, and in the later like violent video games, in the 2000s, movies, video games, whatever. And then now the new trendy thing to say is gun control. We need to be protective of our guns, you know, and all that. It's sure in about 10 to 20 years they're going to find another thing to blame in regards to all that. So it's like these things are never going to change. It's just we just got to be always be like diligent, you know, and all that. That's just how it is, you know. That's just how, like, you know, we can, like, luckily we haven't had anything like this in San Antonio and all this other stuff, and we've had shootings, but nothing to that extent where it gets worldwide media coverage. Let's see. Okay, give me a second.
Wait,
but that's just
kids to use guns? What the fuck?
The ideologies, and usually this is why I don't really talk about politics regarding things like this, because believe it or not, and I always say this, just because sometimes I come off as a horny buffoon, a horny entertaining buffoon sometimes on these streams and just in my everyday life. I do have a lot of things to say regarding certain matters like this and all that, and it can offend the right, the left, whatever. I've always said this, I'm a party unto myself, because I can critique both parties of their flaws, just like I would with any other thing. Like, let's see, so I even get to the banning of history books, or even the rewriting of books. Like I mentioned about James Bond, they're trying to rewrite the old books because to be less misogynistic. And yeah, I will probably for a tale. Well, yeah, I was going to say maybe a Tales from the News, but I may have a discussion about that in the future either Tales from the News or Exiled Outcasts about religion. Because yeah, I do have things I want to say regarding those types of things. Like, and people it's always funny. People wonder why I'm atheist. And before I was not even a Christian, I was Catholic. You know, I was, and I still have more respect for the Catholic Church than I do Christianity. I'm just going to be straight up honest. Good people. Oh, go ahead, Tricky.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, Trust me, I'm still Catholic myself.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, there are good friends of mine that are Christian or, and all that sort of stuff. So I don't want it to be like I'm an anti-Christian, but if anything, I'm an anti-Jehovah's Witness person. I like, especially if anybody follows Chris Stuckman, who's a very prominent movie critic on YouTube. He's now becoming a director. He did a very long video maybe a year or two ago, talking about his upbringing as a Jehovah's Witness. So hearing it from that point of view made me hate them even more. So I will say there's at least one religion or one group of people that I do hate, and that's Jehovah's Witnesses. I truly believe they're a cult. Yes, he's coming in now. If I blocked you in the chat, I'm going to ban you from the thing. Let's see. Okay. But at least I have your name for future reference if I need it. Anyway, so regarding all that, and also another rule that I may not have mentioned in here, if you're coming in here, and this goes to anybody, to start shit of any kind when, we're just having a very civil conversation regarding matters, even if you may not agree with it. If you want to come and have a debate, that's fine. But if I suspect or if anything like that, you're coming in here with malice intentions, you will not be kicked. You'll be banned. Yeah, you can make all the accounts you want. You will be banned from each and every one of them.
Yeah,
this is not. Oh, go ahead, Tricky.
Okay, if these retards are going to come in and try to start shit, I would just ban them. Like, pull a low tier god on them.
Yeah, but I want that to be known. Like, again, I really don't want to have to repeat addressing this, but I'm just for anybody wanting to try, you're just wasting your time. And I'm not going to, and this is probably going to be the only time I even address this. Yeah. So if you come in again under a fake account or even to search it, if I suspect you're coming in to search it up, I'm not even going to make a big deal about it. I'm just going to ban you.
Yeah, they don't know.
Exactly. But. So just FYI to anybody who has those intentions, you're not coming in. It's not the old Hangman Charlie where I'll let anyone with a pulse in. If you're willing, even if you're a foe and want to have a civil discussion of the topic at hand and don't come off as a jackass, I'll let you in. But if you're just coming in to start shit, then I'll be like, yeah. But there are certain people I will not let in, regardless if they may want to have a civil discussion because they don't bring anything interesting or intelligent to the topic. But anyway, going back to everything. So regarding all that, it's like Jehovah's Witnesses, they just made me dislike them even more, and I believe they're a fucking cult. Anybody could try to counter argue it. I have my issues with Christians. I will openly admit that, but I will say I'd rather be around Christians than be around Jehovah's Witnesses. That's basically how I'll finish that statement regarding the religion aspect. But them removing stuff for that over education, or over religion, I think is completely and utterly stupid. Imagine if I'm sure if I was in high school now, I can't, and who knows, these books still may be around, but The Most Dangerous Game, one of the books that got me into literature and or the stories that got me into literature, got me into wanting to know more about the mind of people like that. Those types of books, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, I could see those books because they're too violent, or think of the children or this, that. I didn't take that book and think, oh, well, let me go kidnap somebody, throw them in a fucking field and just hunt them for sport. No, I looked at it from the point of view of, I want to see why somebody does this. Not so it's not inspiring to me. I want to understand the mind and figure out maybe And maybe there isn't nothing to figure out. Maybe the person is just pure evil. It's like what Alfred said about the Joker and the Dark Knight. Sometimes some people just won't watch the world burn. So, and again, that could be a statement because the guy did it for sport. He didn't do it because he hated the person, this, that, and the third. But it opened up my eyes and my ears to this type of stuff. So, like, imagine if that book is taken out. Like, that and The Raven are some of the books that got me into literature, got me into understanding. So I wouldn't maybe be the person I am today because of that. Like, certain things, that little bits of details of my life that could be taken away because of idiots out there wanting to censor things and do this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll bring up a good topic for a certain episode I'll be doing to the Exiled Outcast that actually is going to be, that could actually be added to that. Shit, I'm already thinking of things to say regarding the next episode. I'll say. Let's see. ZTV says, books are there to educate, not indoctrinate. Indoctrination is done by the ones who is teaching or enforcing them to learn it. A book is there for resource and knowledge. Any suppression of that is anti-evolution. So I feel you, Shane. Yeah. Like, that is 100% accurate. Because, like, again, as basically what ZTV says, what I said, just in a more educational point of view, you damn college student. Anyway, but my point is regarding that is that, it sucks with this type of stuff happening, and it's only going to get worse. Like, I just, again, it's like people getting all mad and wanting to cancel The Little Mermaid because of the main character Ariel being black. Oh, I know, I ain't hating.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't have an issue with that. The reason why I'm not really that excited to see it is because Disney has not really done a good job with remaking their animated adaptations. So it's more of the stuff they've done previously with the IPs than who is black and who is white or who is Chicano or who is this, who is that. That doesn't bother me. As long as it fits within the same narrative of the story, I don't care what color the person is or what gender. I'm not one of those guys who hates because, oh yeah, this person was supposed to be a man, but she's a woman now, or this, that, and the third. And that's just how I look at things. But you were going to say something, Tricky?
I just feel like, the people who like complain about these types of things where a white character is like portrayed by like an actor or an actress of like different color. I just think, the people who do that are just straight up nobodies who have nothing better to do with their lives, and they not to mention they're a bunch of basement dwellers too.
Yeah, and the thing is regarding all that, I'll put the link back into the chat. I'll probably go for another 10 minutes. So if anybody wants to hop in for the last 10 minutes, they can. But if they don't, I'll be in this probably at the 1 hour mark. But something I was going to say regarding that is that another thing, and this is something that John Campia, another person who has influenced me in regards to critique, like movie critic, movie talk show host, this, that, and the third. John Campia used to host AMC Movie Talk, Collider Movie Talk, and he has John Campia Show. Big fan of his, big fan of the cast that he has usually every single day. But this is something he said, and I actually gravitated towards him because I was looking for somebody that actually thought the same way as me. Because I saw so much hate for Man of Steel. And I was somebody who called it a masterpiece. And this is coming from not a big Superman fan. That movie made me a Superman fan. So I was like, and I just found like John Campia on AMC Movie Talk talking about Man of Steel and how much he loved it. And I was like, finally, I found someone that feels the same way. I don't mind people like watching reviews of people who didn't like the same movie I did. Like there were some movie critics I love watching that half of the time they hate most of the movies I like, but I like to hear their point of views, and they don't come off as a fucking jackass who just says dumb as shit. But so going back to John Campea, one of the things he said, which honestly I've always lived by regarding like actors or actresses being cast in roles, like I don't care who it is, as long as it's talent. Like with going back to the Batman from earlier. Jeffrey Wright, I know some people had an issue because he was black. I said, I don't care he's black. I don't care if he's black. He can be whatever he wants to be. But he's a fucking talented actor. You know, he's actually now my favorite Gordon. And I love Gary Oldman, but, you know, I just felt something different with his relationship with Batman, more so with even Gary Oldman. And even Robert Pattinson, now granted he's white, but I'm using this as an example. Like, I was one of the biggest supporters of Robert Pattinson being Batman because he's a talented actor. If anybody has not seen The Lighthouse or Good Times and only just fixate on Twilight, by the way, cheap plug for episode 2 of The Exiled Outcasts. Anyway, but anybody who's seen those movies will back that up. Now, going with what ZTB said, for me, race or gender changes should be introduced as different continuity right off the back. Like the creators of the project should just say it's different continuity to avoid backlash from the hate mob. I could like for example, you have a black Spider-Man that's Miles Morales, so you don't really have to like. I know some people would probably get mad if they made Peter Parker black, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, you already have a black Spider-Man," you know. But it goes with different things. Like I remember there was talks of Idris Elba being the next James Bond. I'd be down for Idris Elba because I think he checks off a lot of the qualifications of James Bond. Like with James Bond, I would want him to be a European, like a born actor, you know, playing it. I wouldn't want it to be some American trying to have a British accent. But he has to check off the other things and all that. And that's like for James Bond, that would be my only criteria. Now, there are certain roles I do believe should only be for one gender. For example, James Bond. There should be never another Jane Bond or something like that. Like and all that. All right, who's coming in for the last? Oh, good, ZTB.
Yeah, what's up, bitches? Bisexuals. I was reiterating earlier that for me, as long as they introduce any sort of content, like previous established content, as like a new continuity, you know, then it could avoid the backlash from other people who may see it like, oh, they're indoctrinating, they're trying to change the race, the gender, they're trying to promote this agenda and that agenda. Because right now, everyone thinks it's an agenda. They always like to point it as an agenda. For me, there's always going to be critics that's going to disagree, and that's fine, you know, that's okay. But when you're introducing something that has a direct change from the original source, you know, I'm not talking about just hair color or eye color, but an actual visual change that is apparent. You know, just introduce the material as a different continuity from the original. That way, you know, the creators can establish that right off the back. You know, rather than saying it's a reboot, just say it's a different continuity. That way the fans can't say, oh, you're changing the story. The entire thing is different from the original. And that's what they should do, you know, to avoid that sort of backlash that they may get from, as I dubbed it, the hate mob. You know, and that's the kind of outlook that I would have for any material like The Little Mermaid. What else? What was another movie? Annie, where they changed Annie from being white to black. You know,
Cameron
with
Diaz's
Jamie Foxx.
Cameron Diaz's last film too.
Yeah, because she quit Hollywood. She was like, I ain't doing this shit anymore. And I don't blame her. But just that's what they should do.
I forgot that Annie remake existed.
It existed.
I did too. I think the only reason why I remember that existed is because I always remember because I never saw it. I just heard bad things about it. The trailers didn't look interesting to me, but like I'll always remember it for being Cameron Diaz's last film because I remember couple of years ago, or I was like, well, I wonder what happened to Cameron Diaz. I have not seen her in anything in a long time. And then Joe Blow did What the Fuck Happened to, like, they do these things with actors and musicians and all that. And so I watched it because I was like, maybe they have more insight than I do. And I can just watch this instead of just looking it up. And watched it. It was a very interesting video. But they do them to a lot of different, like they did actually one recently with Fred Durst and all that. Because he kind of went into a self-imposed retirement due to some health issues he had. And I will always say, I know Limp Bizkit is not like everybody's cup of tea, but Limp Bizkit was my childhood back growing up, especially in WWE back in the early 2000s. But regarding all that, it's like, you know, it's like, and I know she's there. There's talks about her making a comeback, Cameron Diaz. I don't know what the status is on. There was supposed to be a movie that she was going to be doing, but I don't know what the status is, especially nowadays with the whole writer's strike and all the stuff that's going on right now. Which, again, even though it sucks for us movie and television fans, I am pro writers. So, you know, without the writers, you know, it's they're a pivotal part of movies. It's like when people used to criticize, like when back in the day when I used to be a dishwasher. You know, without the dishwashers, you wouldn't have clean dishes. You know, they're as much part of the kitchen as anybody else. You know, so I kind of look at that from that point of view. Let me see what the private chat says. That's what I was going to say. I think it was before guests came in. Two of the movies I was really excited with: The Flash. The other one is Transformers. Rise of the Beast, I believe it's called.
The Beast Wars arc.
Yeah, I will say, even though it's I am besides the director of Bumblebee directing this movie, which I loved Bumblebee, but I said, even though it still has humans and all that sort of stuff, I said this feels like the most Transformers movie just by the trailers. I hope it doesn't disappoint. And I am growing. The most recent Fast 10 trailer is growing on me. I think Jason Momoa is going to be a great villain. So I'll still check it out. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. Who knows? As long as it ain't as bad as Fast 9. I hated that one.
I'm going to keep it real with you. When it came to Transformers, the season that got me into the genre was Beast Wars, because that's the first Transformers I've watched growing up. And so I always compare Beast Wars with like the other Transformers, and they don't give me that magical feeling that Beast Wars did. Like, Beast Wars was fucking badass. Like, that was the season when Optimus Prime went gangsta and fucking was giving Megatron hell. He was even going after his own comrades, telling them off, threatening them to fuck him up if they ever mess up. You know, I never forget when he did with that rat. I forgot. Was a rat trap. Optimal, should I say, nearly beat the shit out of him, his own teammate, because he nearly fucked up the mission. So I miss that Optimal Prime, when Optimus was a gangster.
And I was going to say same about Beast Wars and also Wrestling Snowman. Hello, Wrestling Snowman.
Hey, Wrestling, what's going on?
Like, even with, what was it? What was the other one? Trying to think of the other, someone said in the prior, I won't say who it is, but so, regarding, Transformers. So yeah, like I watched the first movie. I enjoyed the first movie. The second one was awful. The third movie, I know people hate, but I say is watchable. I prefer that one over the second movie. I didn't watch the fourth movie, and I only watched the fifth movie because my mom's a big Transformers fan. I usually always, whenever we have discussion about movies, I always tell her, I try to act snobby with her. I'm like, oh yeah, you love the Transformers movies. I like movies like Hereditary and all that stuff. But anyway, I think it was this movie called It Comes at Night. I wanted her to see it with me, and I told her, I said, if you watch that, I'll watch the newest Transformers. And I still don't know if that was the right decision because I had to sit through that piece of shit movie. So I didn't go check out Bumblebee until it came out on a DVD and all that, or Blu-ray. See, but yeah, like I'm trying to think of what was the other Oppenheimer. That I can't wait for that. Again, if it wasn't for the previous owners of Warner Brothers, Christopher Nolan will probably still be working with them, and Oppenheimer will be released by Warner Brothers, not Universal. So they lost them and they lost Legendary. You know, they basically I think they got finished their shit with fucking Godzilla and Kong, and then they're probably going. Can't remember who bought. I think it was Sony who's now working with Legendary, if I remember correctly. I'd have to check that again, but I believe that's. Went down. Yeah, the what do you call it? Cigarette went down the wrong pipe, or like went down too much. Plus the wind.
Mm-hmm. You were gagging too hard.
Oh my god. I was like I should have muted that when I felt like I was about to cook. I was like, oh god, I know ZTP's gonna say something. Oh my god, no. Anyway, so like, but yeah, like, fuck. Anyway, so regarding all that
stuff there.
Okay. Fuck. I don't know what the fuck that happened.
You got D in your
Oh my god. But anyway. So yeah, like I'm trying to think what the other tricks. Spider-Man to Spider-Verse, that one I can't wait for. Or Across the Spider-Verse, sorry, that's the next one. I'm actually very curious. I'm hoping before that movie comes out, they release a trailer for Kraven the Hunter, because I heard that's going to be an R-rated bloodbath movie too. That's going to be Sony's first R-rated Marvel movie, because they've never really done like all their
and Disney.
Well, yeah, but
no, the Deadpool counts. Never mind.
Yeah, because Deadpool 3 will be a part of that.
Yeah, the Disney, and they're not going to change the rating, so I was happy about that.
That was my one concern, because like I get with Blade to a certain extent, but like, you know, with Blade I could get, but it's like, you know, and Blade you could like, honestly, Blade, what, like, besides the language, you didn't really have a reason, because you stab a vampire, they just disintegrate. You know, it doesn't like too graphic. Plus, like, the rating system is so weird. Like, robots could be ripped apart, like in Transformers, and that's fine. But, you know, humans, you know, it's like one little spider of blood. It's like, I think it was Megan that came out. Like, I saw the unrated version, which I still believe that version should be released. Even though Megan was more graphic for a PG-13 movie than I thought it was going to be. Also with Indiana Jones, regarding all that, I am excited for it. The one thing that got me excited for was James Mangold, who of course directed Ford v Ferrari, Walk the Line, but also one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, Logan. Like, so I hope that he will do a fitting in to Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones. I'm glad they did not, like, you know, even the CGI Indiana, like the younger one that you see in the trailers, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're getting better with the aging. The actors and you know enhancing their looks to make them look exactly how they did like maybe like a 30-year movie back.
Yeah, I remember, I think the first time I saw that was in Ant-Man with Michael Douglas. Basically looking like how he did as Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. So, you know, I think that was my introduction to Michael Douglas, also was Wall Street. Because the new Wall Street has come out with Shia LaBeouf. So I wanted to check out the original.
I'm back.
That's good, Tricky. Let me see what's there on the private chat.
But yeah, I was about to say, I think like my first ever introduction to Michael Douglas would have to be the movie Falling Down.
Oh, that's such a great movie.
Fantastic movie, yeah.
If you have not seen Falling Down, definitely check it out. It even speaks to like today's climate too regarding that. So if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm referring to. Probably that's one of my favorite Michael Douglas movies. That, and then I'd probably say Basic Instinct's another one, and Fatal Attraction.
I know that movie.
Yeah,
You can see
watching
this. And
yeah,
more.
I'm watching the current the TV show that's on Fatal Attraction, which it's not a major spoiler, especially if you've seen the movie. But I was wondering if they were going to have Lizzie Kaplan naked in certain scenes, and I was like, well, she was naked in True Blood back almost 15 years ago, and that did disappoint. She still looks good. Always will
Maybe
say
it's
this.
the rating system because True Blood is rated mature, not rated R. And I think mature is like slightly more graphic than rated R.
Yeah, and
Because like with True Blood, they can show like explicit sex scenes.
oh yeah, especially like I remember the second season, the end of the first, the first episode of the second season, the end of that was a very graphic sex scene between Sookie and Bill.
I always wanted to be fondled by a vampire that season. That was my. I never got into Twilight. I got into True Blood, and that was my vampire craze. And I always wanted to be fondled and slam into the wall and just just have the vampire just have their way with me.
I mean, believe it or not.
Who was your favorite vampire, ZTB?
Eric. I forgot the other one. Sookie's husband. Who was the other one?
Sookie's husband.
Eric,
you're referring
to
the
boyfriend.
Bill.
And Bill. And who else? Eric's mistress that he had. Pam. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, Pam and Eric were my two favorites.
And the redhead. I forgot her name too.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Who she was also Karen Page in the Daredevil Netflix show. But so I was gonna say another one, which it was funny because he became a mainstay on American Horror Story.
Version of Amber Heard.
Oh yes, and more talented. But anyway, regarding with
doesn't shit the bed.
And then with probably another one was Russell, which he was in.
Oh yes, Russell, yeah.
Russell Edgerton, because he was also in he's been a mainstay on most of the seasons of American Horror Story. That's where he's been primarily up to since then. And then I'm trying to think of like I guess my favorite non-vampire character probably besides Sookie was probably I liked Alcide, but another one probably would have been they did that vampire werewolf love triangle right. But another one, Jason Stackhouse, I always liked it. I remember Andy Belfleur. It was funny how you hate him in the first couple of seasons, but then you kind of, I think it was season 4 is where you kind of sympathized with him and all that, and he became kind of a likable idiot, but a likable character nonetheless. Sam Merlot is probably my favorite because I thought he was the most layered of all the human characters, even though technically he's not human.
Mature Taylor Lautner.
You referred to Alcide?
Sam.
Well, Sam was a shifter. Alcide was a werewolf, played by Joe Manganiello.
He always reminded me of Taylor, like Taylor's character. Like it was two lovers, and he was like the second lover of Sookie.
Oh yeah, especially going back to, I remember when I thought he was the killer in season 1 before we found out it was Renee. I thought it was him because that one scene where he's sniffing the bed, and then I was like. And then now going back and watching
that was a good clip.
Yeah, it was. And now going back, I get it because of the fact that he primarily shifts into a dog. So, with their sense of smell and all that shit. So now that scene is not as, still kind of weird, but still, I kind of like that it was a red herring. Because I thought I wasn't expected to be Renee until when they had the little reveal at the end of the second to last episode of season 1. But
for me, season 1 to season 3 is the best. Anything after that, I really don't care for.
Yeah,
when they got into Sookie being a spoiler alert when she awakens as a fairy, I was like, from that point onward, it slowly declined for me.
Oh, it was like, I'm a fairy? How fucking
Like-
lame.
Like I was like, are you for real? Like, really?
Yeah, of all the things they could have done regarding all that, and it's like, fuck, you can't. But it is what it is. Like, I didn't really. The last season was probably the only season I really disliked. If it had like, to me, no, there are only two shows in my opinion that have had perfect, like, probably others too, but like perfect seasons or perfect series, like where season after season was great. I always say Sons of Anarchy and The Sopranos. Like even the weakest season in my opinion of Sons of Anarchy was season 3, and even that was still better than half of the seasons. Like Dexter is a great show, but the problem with that show was after the Origami Killer, I believe. No, I'm thinking of Heavy Rain. Fuck, the Trinity Killer. I was thinking of Heavy Rain. What's up, Malik? But the Trinity Killer, after the Trinity Killer, kind of went
what's
downhill.
going on? What's happening?
So, but with that, guys, I gave it extra, probably almost 15 minutes, because I was going to edit the hour mark, but I wanted to have some more topics to discuss. But with that, and later, Dylan. But with that, guys, I'm going to end it. We'll probably do another, like I always say, I usually have these sporadic whenever I feel like doing one. But I do thank everybody for checking in and watching it, and also participating in the stream and having some good conversations.
My pleasure.
Orgy fest.
And oh yes. Well, Dragon did show up, so it wasn't really a true orgy.
You're cheating on him. That's why.
Oh yeah. Like
Naughty
well.
boy.
But anyway, y'all take care. Make sure you check out this Friday's Exile Outcast, where we ask, where's the internet beef, and all that good stuff. So check that out, and check out whatever else. Make sure you have the notification on, because you never know I'm going live, because most of the shit I do now is sporadic. Yeah, it's like everything is sporadic, like my sex life. But
both ways that fact.
oh my god. But what do you call it? But yeah. So and then I'll be recording. Speaking of sex life, Tales from the Noose, episode 3 will be the wildest sex stories. So if you wanna hear all the juicy details, be sure to check out tomorrow. I'll be recording that tonight. So I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it'll be. I think I'll probably have it at 7
Shut
p.m.
the fuck up, Pinky.
But yeah, oh my god. But with that being said, guys, y'all take care, and until next time, ta-ta for now. Peace, guys.
Bye-bye. Farewell.